Can you see my donor shirt? Can you see my donor shirt? Okay. Can you see my donor shirt? Can you see my donor shirt? I'm sorry. Hi everyone. My name is Natalie Rosen and welcome to my journey with cancer. I wanted to give a little bit of a background, a little bit of a timeline leading up to what you're about to see. On August 31st, when our daughter Ember was born, they were checking to see how dilated I was, and that's when they found the lump. And they weren't too worried about it at the time. Couldn't tell what it was, of course, just could tell it was there. So my doctor said, let's not worry about it, let's just take a look at it at your 6-week appointment, 6-week postpartum checkup. So fast forward to October 22nd when I have my 6-week appointment. It was really like 7.5 weeks, but whatever. They still couldn't figure out what it was, so he said, let's do an ultrasound of it. So luckily I was able to get in that day and we did an ultrasound of it. The ultrasound tech couldn't tell what it was. Dr. Peterson couldn't tell what it was. He's my gynecologist. So Dr. Peterson says, let's get an MRI scheduled. I really just want to figure out what this is. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Maybe it's a second cervix or a unicorn uterus, but let's just really figure out what it is. Go forward to October 26th, a few days later, we have my MRI, and I'm really proud of myself. They said I laid very still and they got some great images, but unfortunately they still couldn't figure out what it was. Dr. Peterson called me after he had sat down with some radiologists and he said we couldn't figure it out. If anything, it left me with more questions. He said something that I thought was interesting. I guess in the medical field, there's a common phrase, when you hear hooves, think horse, not zebra. He said, and that's what I was doing, but now there's no horses left. We can't figure out what it is, so it's a zebra now. So I called a specialist. She wants you to go down to see her and she wants to get a biopsy of it so we can figure out what this is. And on December 4th, which you're about to see, is the start of our journey. We are on our way to the specialist. Jamming out to Selena. It's also 1 degree outside, it says, so that's nice. We love that. Bye, Logan. Alrighty, so we just got out of the Monarch Women's Cancer Center, the specialist. Sounds like it's probably some sort of tumor, so that's awesome. But doesn't seem like it's an aggressive one, so that's good. I guess we'll see. She got a biopsy, so just have to wait and see.
We left a little bit of you there.
Left a little bit of me there. Have to see what it is. Hopefully we'll find out by Monday. Oh look, I got some
head east toward South 1100 East.
Icing on my chin. I go and have my appointment. She does an exam. After that, she takes a biopsy, gets a couple of them. Luckily, they didn't hurt near as bad as I thought they would. Like, I felt it, but it didn't really hurt. So, hallelujah. I was thinking it was going to be like the most painful thing in the world. Anyway, it was great. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible like I thought it would be. So anyway, she gets those, and she said that, I don't know, she kept saying, I don't for sure know what it is, and you could tell she really didn't want to give me, like, option. I mean, she wanted to give me some things, but she didn't want to scare me, essentially. I could tell she was really trying not to scare me. So she was being very, very vague. She just said, I really want to figure out what it is first before, I don't know, we talk about it more, essentially. Not talk about it, but she just wanted to really be certain on what it was before we go into it more, essentially. So yeah, that was, and she sat down with me in Cherokee, and yeah, just kind of went over it with us. What she's thinking it is probably some sort of tumor. So that's kind of where we're at. Kind of scary, but they keep reassuring me that it's probably nothing to be too worried about. So I'm trying to stay positive. So the lighting is now terrible in here. Maybe I should go like this, or like, how about this? That's better. You can actually see me now. Now that it's at the very end of the video, you can actually see my face. Kind of looks like I have a bald spot there because my hair is parted weird. And my blonde roots are growing back in. Okay, that was lovely. Here is the picture she drew for me. Whoa. And here is my mass, my growth. That's the size of it, roughly. The conclusion, well, like I said, she doesn't know. She doesn't want to say, yes, it's for sure this, because it needs to go to the lab. They need to see what it is. She said it kind of has the consistency. It seems like it's some sort of tumor. That's kind of what she was saying. She didn't want to tell me nothing, but she didn't want to go into specifics. So she kind of just wanted to say, it seems like it's some sort of tumor. There's a few different kinds of tumors. It could be a benign tumor. She said fibroids apparently are like the most common, but those are generally in the uterus, and mine is not. So, and she said that's kind of like a blood clot type thing that women get after birth or during labor or something like that. She said it just doesn't seem like that's what it is. She's like, it's not really in the right place. It just doesn't really have that consistency. But it still could be benign. We don't know. Like she said, or like I said, she didn't want to say anything for sure. Anyway, and then there's something called desmoid tumors, or maybe that was the specific kind of tumor. I honestly can't remember. I just remember it was like not bad, medium, kind of in the middle, and then aggressive tumor. As you can tell, that's not that great. Anyway, so this desmoid thing, tumor, whatever, like I said, is somewhere in the middle, and isn't necessarily horrible, but isn't necessarily benign either. And then this third one here, some other aggressive tumor. So that is like cancer. So Cherokee, my husband, asked, so what would be the treatment? She's like, for this middle one here, probably some sort of surgery to remove it. Yeah, surgery pretty much. This one, for the aggressive tumors, that could be even more like chemotherapy, radiation, that sort of thing. Kind of scary. But she said it doesn't seem like it's something aggressive either. She said because of the shape of it, it's pretty uniform. It's not like really weird shapen and freaky weird. So she kind of is leaning towards it not being this. Again, doesn't want to say for sure. She also said I should hear back from the biopsy soon, hopefully by this Friday, if not for sure by Monday, fingers crossed. Sometimes if I don't know, people who are the lab people who are going through the biopsy, if they decide that they're not for sure on what it is, then they might send it to another lab to get a second opinion. And if still they're not sure, then I might have to go back in and surgically get a piece of it removed just so we can get more of it so they can for sure see what it is. This has all been kind of a pain. Anyway, then we can talk about treatment options. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Kind of interesting. I never thought that you never think it's gonna happen to you. I don't know. But when it does, it's kind of scary, even though they're very reassuring and very nice. They don't think I have much, if anything, to be worried about, but still, it's still kind of nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking, whatever. But I'm hopeful. It shouldn't be bad. I am a little nervous though, because just had a baby. She's amazing. We would like another one. I don't know. Sometimes with these surgeries or with cancer, you're done. Ruins your reproductivity, your reproductiveness, fertilization ruins that. Anyway, so I don't know. But I guess, obviously, me being here for Ember is more important than her not having a mom. So, just gonna be grateful. I feel like I've gone on forever, but I think this situation is fairly interesting and fascinating, and wanted to share it. I'm not even sure why I'm recording right now. I guess I just wanted to get the raw moment. This is really raw. And my baby's sleeping. Just got a call from the specialist that I went to see earlier this week. They got the biopsy results back, and lymphoma. So I guess that's a cancer of, it's in like blood cells or something, or lymph node. I don't even remember now. She said B-cell lymphoma, I think, is what it is looking like. So it's really hard to hear that, because that's what my grandma died of. She died of lymphoma she died young, in her 50s, so it's just kind of hard to hear that, especially after just having a beautiful baby girl. I mean, everyone's still being positive, or they're gonna get me in right away. You probably can't even understand me, to a specialist here in Logan, an oncologist here in Logan, where I live, so we can get it taken care of right away. She said most likely going to have to do chemotherapy and whatnot, but and now I have to start doing all these tests and scans and get it figured out. I just wasn't expecting, something like this. I was thinking I'd probably have to get surgery, but she sounded really hopeful that it wasn't going to be something aggressive like that. But like I said in the last video too, I could tell she wanted to be really positive and not and not tell me anything for certain to keep me not scared and whatnot. But so that's where we're at. Yeah, so I'm gonna call my husband now. Hey, sweetheart. Mama loves you. Okay. I just wanted to give another update. It's the day after we found out what I have. I'm gonna try not to cry as much today, because I'm pretty sure I've got like messed up tear ducts now and from crying so much, and I still have like a hangover headache from crying so much. So excuse me, it's early. Can you tell I haven't talked much today yet? After the specialist in Salt Lake, after her office told me what I have, she was explaining it to me and whatnot, and she said they're referring me to an oncologist up here. His name is Dr. Johnson. A little while later, I get a call from the nurse operator, I can't even remember her title. She called me and said, let's see you Monday early in the morning at 8:30. And of course we're gonna need to do blood work, so I need to go get my blood work done before I go on Monday. Then I'm gonna have to get a CT scan later that week just to see if it's anywhere else in my body as well. Just kind of scary, but the one thing that she said that, oh, I'm gonna try not to cry, it's like one of the things that just makes me instantly tear up. I don't even know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. I'm talking fairly quiet because my husband and my baby are asleep. So the Dr. Johnson's office, that she was being really nice. She's going through a ton of things with me, what I'm gonna need to do, and then she goes on to treatment. She said, I think on Monday, there's going to be an organization there. She can't remember the exact name, that helps with fertilization, like taking a couple of eggs from me and freezing them. She said because with the chemotherapy treatments you're going to have to get, you'll lose your fertilization. That sounds really weird. But yeah, so I won't be able to have kids. That was really hard to hear, even though I don't particularly want a ton of kids. It's just kind of hard to hear that. I'm 23. Ember is our miracle baby in all the ways. I'm sure anyone who knows me knows, or has ever talked to Cherokee about Ember, he's told them that she was an oopsie baby. We took precautions not to have her, but she was conceived anyway, and it's a good thing she was, because during labor with her, that's when they found it. So she probably saved my life. And she's probably the only kid we're going to be able to have. I don't know if you believe in a God, but I do. And I don't believe that that's a coincidence. I know that he works in mysterious ways. We had so many plans and things we wanted to do before we even wanted to try having kids. But again, she came, and here we are. So I feel like I'm forever in her debt, even though it was all in God's hand. But still, I'm so grateful for her and God and Jesus. Yeah, for being my rock, and my husband, of course. And it was amazing. After we called our families, everyone has been so supportive. I'm so grateful for all of them. So yeah, Monday bright and early, get to go get blood work done, get to go meet my new oncologist, get to get this started, get this treatment going. And can you just see my roots coming through? Oh, that is bad, especially at that angle. And that angle, oh my gosh, I look like a skunk. Need to go get that fixed soon. Anyway, bye guys.